crazy ones are the ones who aren't Shumking Mansion fans.
Yeah, I'm Shum. I finger the bass. Yeah, there you go.
Kent, I played drums.
Zaid, I play vocals and guitar.
Jem, I play the guitar.
Yeah, when we first started, we were a three-piece band without Jem. So initially, in the first few months, our stuff was a lot heavier. Like a lot of like heavy stuff. Because Zaid is very influenced by stuff like grunge rock from the '80s. If you look back at our old recordings, we have songs that are completely different from the songs that we have now.
I think when we started, like Shum said, we wrote a lot more. We wrote a lot of heavy songs, and then we decided that we wanted to go into the more dancey and disco. We wanted to explore more of the disco rhythms, and then I think we got kind of tired of using disco rhythms in every song. So I think now, for the past maybe last 4 or 5 songs, I think we're trying to move away. We're not purposely trying to move away from it. It's just that I think we naturally feel that we need to try something different, and so I think the last few songs are quite different. They don't follow. They're not particularly influenced by disco.
Yeah, we should probably just stick to disco. That's what people like. I think we like the music we're making even more, like the newer songs, right?
I think it's cool. What's cool in Shumking Mansion, I suppose, is that we are 4 different guys. I mean, we have very different tastes, but at the end, we managed to create a sound without really thinking about it. It's more like a natural process.
And it's just fun. It's mostly fun. I think that's why we do it. But also, yeah, playing live would be like the best thing, and we haven't been able to do that. But actually making the music, like writing the songs, and like having something start to form into some recognizable thing that sounds good is really rewarding. I really like that. Once you get stuck in like that part of the creative process where you're like, it's clicking and you're just, that's really great.
I would say mainly is for me personally, it would be the fact that we're pretty lucky in the sense that most audiences can appreciate our music. I think that's a very important factor because for us, the audience is also a very important factor, especially when we play live. Yeah, because our music is so diverse, there's so many influences. Every time someone comes up after a show, each person, the references that they give us for our music is completely different. It can go from Franz Ferdinand all the way to like Madonna, for example. Each person has a different interpretation of where we get our influences from. I think that's pretty amazing.
It's true. Like in one way, if you're just doing it by yourself, like photography, or you're expecting to do it on your own before you realize people are going to be helping you, or if you're making music on your own, like that's one thing where you get sort of stuck in a real loop, and it can kind of like get lost, right? And so it's good because there's no one else like intervening with what you want to try to do. But then with the band, you might come to like the jam thinking like I have a great idea and hoping, and then people will be like, yeah, and then, but then you listen back to someone else's idea and you're like, oh, that is so like it's that process of like, yeah, realizing other people's ideas can be in different situations will work better, I guess.
I think the best example of that is our most famous song, What's on Your Mind, because it's one of the first songs we wrote 5-6 years ago. I think that was before Jem joined us, right?
Yeah.
And I think I came up with the idea for like, I wanted to write a full-on disco funk number. That was my ideal vision for the song. And then, of course, we had different influences, like Zaid added all the grunge elements to it. So it was something that, at the time, I really was not into. But as it turns out, that's what made the song, so appealing to everyone else. Like, if we had kept it just to my taste, it would have been a completely different song.
crazy ones are the ones who aren't Shumking Mansion fans. They're not crazy. They're just normal people, but then they go crazy at our show. They look like just normal people. If you walk down the street, they probably have jobs. But then they come to our show and it all goes a little sideways. Temporary insanity.
I have an example, but it's a bit X-rated. Well, for me personally, the craziest example was I had this girl over once, right? And we were about to, fornicate. And she insisted that I play the live videos of Shumking Mansion while we're going at it. And that was the single weirdest experience for me because, as an artist, you can't do it while your own bass line is playing because you're like, oh shit, I fucked that up, or like, that was a wrong note, that was out of time. You can't concentrate. But she insisted, and I had no way out of it. For me, that was the craziest experience. Yeah.
How did it end?
I had to concentrate a lot harder than I normally would, because by default your brain goes to the music. It doesn't go to what if it's the music. If it's a song you wrote, if it's a song that you composed, that's your like priority when it comes to your attention. So you spend hours, days, months. You play the same song over and over again. So when you hear
So
it,
are you saying she was a crazy? Yeah, it is kind of.
I mean, would you do that? Would any of you three guys do that if your partner requested you play Shumking Mansion music while you were doing it? Would you do it? Would you be able to do it?
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't put any music anyway.
What? Really?
Yeah, same.
Silence?
No, I put Dire Straits.
Yeah, I know that.
Dire Straits.
You need perfect silence to perform. Thank you very much, Alicia. Thank you, Aftermath. And we love you. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody.
You're on my side, but we go home. Oreo. It's hard, I know. We've set so much over distance. I want you to all delusions to which I came to, slipping into unfamiliar ways. And more we rely while they're imagining countless fragments of life will ever live.
C'est pas facile. C'est pas facile. C'est
Feel like I'm falling, walking on the lost from the sea. goes. The desert wind it buries as it blows. The nights away get cold. Fall asleep inside your father's coat. Retreat to towns to find them gone, vanishing like stars before the dawn. Out at the edges, something strong. Forgotten figures, unforgotten songs. I'm not your enemy. Somebody help